everybody, welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with another Morning Magpie. This is just a little news roundup show where we talk about all the headlines that are going on with Newcastle United at the moment. So let's get stuck right into it then. In case it's escaped anybody's attention, and we're never getting sick and tired of saying this, no matter how childish it sounds, we have got a semi on. That's right, Newcastle United beat Leicester City in the quarterfinal of the Carabao Cup to get through the semi-finals. And it was 2-0 against Leicester City on Tuesday night. Should have been about 4 or 5-0, really. The lads played fantastic. Brilliant goals from both Dan Burn and Joelinton, which do come up on our news show quite a bit at the minute. Great game. And obviously, we're buzzing to be through the first League Cup final since 1976 and the first domestic cup semi-final. Beg your pardon, correct myself, get one step ahead of myself. So the first semi-final since 2004, I think it is, where we got beat by Chelsea, I believe it is. So yeah, everyone's buzzing for it. So much so that there's even a clamour already from fans for final tickets. We have got a pesky little job of getting past Southampton, who unbelievably beat Manchester City 2-0, which was unbelievable. Proper coupon buster that was of the night. So we have to have two legs with Southampton, which is played on the week commencing the 23rd of January. So the games are coming thick and fast for our quite thinnish squad in terms of quality anyway. The first leg is obviously down at Southampton at St Mary's, which suits us down to the ground because the second leg will be at St James's Park, and we fancy our chances to beat anybody at St James's Park at the moment. And why not with the unbelievable displays that we're seeing from War Flags. War Flags were on absolute fire the other night. They also had a campaign of bring your own scarf, which you hopefully be able to see from the image there. It added to the atmosphere if you even thought that was possible. Anybody who was lucky enough to go to Alan Shearer's testimonial game will remember the scarves whipping around, and it was just absolutely breathtaking as an atmosphere. I was there myself, and I'd never thought it would be replicated, but War Flags have blown this out of the water with what they do for games. So much so that the great man himself was there, and he was waving his own scarf, which I thought was absolutely incredible. Almost gone a little bit full circle as Big Al there. So massive respect to Big Al. He's just a fan now like everyone else, and he's buzzing, and he's really enjoying what he's seeing happening at St James's Park. So yeah, we're pretty much getting tipped as a lot of people's favourites for the final. Manchester United got to play Nottingham Forest, who went through on pens. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But yes, we'll be buzzing for that game. Hopefully Newcastle United can get to a final, and it'll be absolutely amazing if we do. But there's been so much love for one of the goal scorers in that game this week, and everyone's singing this song. I was embarrassing my daughter singing the song driving her to school the other day. Yes, he's from Blythe. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn, and everybody knows right now he's got the moves. There's even jumpers and t-shirts with Blythe. There's him pulling the Y in there, which is absolutely class. So yeah, Dan Burn has been getting massive plaudits from everybody this weekend, and rightly so, because not only is he a class player, and he's doing a great job for Newcastle United at the minute, he also seems like a real character as well. You know, he did the crazy dance, which was absolutely nuts. But there's also been some great banter flying around. If you haven't seen this already, excuse me, I recommend that you do check this out. So there was an Amazon show with Sean Longstaff and Dan Burn, and they had to go through different phases of making each other laugh. You know, there was bad dad jokes, there was impressions of players, with the Go Motion camera on the top of your head. I think it's Go Motion. And this image, if it doesn't entice you to that video, I don't know what will, but absolutely hilarious. So great crack from the lads, and really good from Amazon to see them doing that as well, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. And I think a lot of people would be as well. But I'll tell you something isn't hilarious. Joelinton is in serious bother, which isn't hilarious at all. So this has been doing the rounds. It kind of came out via, I think it was the Times, the Daily Mail's got a hold of it. So Joelinton has been done for drink driving. Apparently got arrested in the early hours of the morning. I think was it Thursday morning, possibly this morning. I can't remember. Sorry, yeah, he's been arrested for drink driving, and he's going to have to, take that through the courts towards back end of January. Very out of character for someone like Joelinton. He seems to be a really good, kind of grounded, sensible bloke. So I don't know what's happened there. Got himself a bit of bother. Newcastle fans, are kind of going in two different directions about this. Some of them are taking the piss, mocking up bottles of brown ale with him. Some of them are being a bit more serious, saying they're quite disappointed. And me personally, I'm quite disappointed. I don't know the circumstances, obviously, but he's a role model for young lads and young lasses everywhere. He shouldn't really be doing stuff like that. He's he's screwed his head. He's been through an unbelievable transition in Newcastle United, both on the pitch and off the pitch. And I'm pretty sure his manager, being the kind of guy that he is, will not be very happy with him at all. So I don't know what that means for the team on Sunday at Fulham. We'll be there in massive quantities. They have a more squad, so we'll be waiting to see, if Joelinton gets the nod or not. He's one of our best players, one of our most influential players, but he has let himself down there a bit. And drink driving certainly not something to make fun of or make light of. It's a very serious offence, and thankfully nobody was hurt. Either Joelinton or anybody else. So hopefully he learns his lesson and he doesn't act so stupid again. So we'll move on from that. The other story is all about his midfield partner. Yes, that is right. That beautiful bastard that is Bruno Guimaraes has decided to go blonde again. And we all know what happens when Bruno goes blonde. He gets goals. That's what he normally says. So I'm really looking for a Bruno raker in the top corner against Fulham at the weekend with those blonde locks, which would be absolutely class. So yes, we'll really be looking forward to that as well. There was a birthday through the week. The very own Rolls Royce himself, Svens Botman, had his birthday through the week as well. So massive birthday wishes to Sven, who's just an absolute legend on Tyneside already, to be fair. I'm just checking how old he is. I can't believe how young he still is. 23rd birthday he had this week. My God, this kid is going to be unbelievable, isn't he? To be fair, he already looks like a veteran of the game at 23 years old, which is absolutely class. So that's one of the young players that we've got who's established in the first team. We have had a couple of changes with some young players as of late, and one of them I'm actually quite happy about. So everybody remembers the disastrous PR stunt, I think, of the old regime of signing one Santiago Munez. The real Santiago Munez, not the lad from goal. And it just seemed like an absolute fucking joke, really, at the time, to be honest with you. Everybody was talking about the movie and then the name and all that stuff as well. And he just seemed to be perpetually injured. He did fuck all, really. I think he had a couple of games in the under 23s. I think he got a goal and an assist or something daft like that. But so his contract's finished with Newcastle United and he's packed his bag. So goal, the dream is over for Santiago. I wish him well in his career. But yeah, I think that was never going to work. Just a bit of a shit PR stunt, really. And just unluckily for him, he's never going to get to play Fulham at the weekend. So anyway, we'll move on from that one. So moving away from him to another player that is quite exciting. So his journey with Newcastle United may be over, Munez, but Garang Kiyonga, it's only the beginning. So Garang Kiyonga is obviously the young lad that we signed from Australia. Very exciting player. I saw a little bit of him in the World Cup, little cameos here and there. In Australia were comfortably beaten, quite out of their depth in many ways. But we knew Garang was coming in January. So Garang has been loaned out to Hearts up in Scotland in the SPL. Obviously, he's only 18 years old. He's got loads of potential. And he's going to be at Hearts till the end of the season. What's good for him as well is I think there's another 3 Australian teammates that are there already. So it'll be nice for him. He'll settle in quite well there, in all fairness, So I think that's a really good move for Garang. And I'll be looking forward to see how he does there. My dad's a Celtic fan, so I hear a lot about SPL. So if he does well against Celtic, I'll certainly hear about it because my dad will not be very happy, and he'll say, "Can you take that kid back to Newcastle?" But if anybody's interested, Hearts do take on St Mirren on Friday night. So we'll be keeping an eye on that to see whether Garang Kiyonga might possibly make it on the bench. Who knows? But yeah, very exciting for Garang. We'll wish him well, and we really hope that going to the SPL really helps develop his game. So going on to one of our other current players, captain, fantastic, really, in my eyes, Kieran Trippier, rightly so, has been delivered some plaudits here. He has been nominated in the FIFA 23 Team of the Year in the defence category. You can see him there. He's just down the bottom line, the third one in from the left. So rightly so, Kieran Trippier has been unbelievable for Newcastle United this season. I think he's just showed everybody what a class act that he is, what a great player that he is. He's still one of the best right backs, probably in world football, in all fairness, So it's great that he's our player. Absolutely buzzing that he's our player. And good luck to Trips. I hope he gets in that team, and I think that'll be absolutely class if he can do as well. And just to finish up, there's been a little bit of noise about the Sheffield Wednesday debacle and fiasco. I'm not going to get too much into it, but anybody probably knows, or certainly anybody who's at the game knows, that Sheffield Wednesday were accused of maybe not having a lot of safety measures in place. Is probably the best thing to say with the Hillsborough ground. Hillsborough ground's very old-fashioned, very rickety. And Newcastle fans were very pushed together. They felt that it was kind of oversubscribed a little bit. They put people in too close proximity with each other. Horrible scenes, reminiscent scenes of days gone by at that stadium as well, which you don't want to hear and you don't want to see. So Newcastle United and their supporters have obviously voiced their concerns about it. Sheffield Wednesday have come back and defended this, and they've said that they opened the turnstiles, I believe it was 2 hours earlier than they normally do, to allow Newcastle fans to come through. And they said they had the right number of stewards, and in their opinion, they've done everything that they need to do. But certainly from the people that I know who went and the stuff that I've been told, it was quite scary. It was quite frightening. Fans were on top of each other, getting pushed through turnstiles. There was young kids there. And Sheffield Wednesday supporters are being a little bit weird about this, I must say. I saw a couple of tweets about that, and it just seems a little bit odd. These are the safety of supporters here. That's paramount. It should be important for anybody. Sheffield Wednesday got a great result against us, put us out the cup. They should be buzzing and rocking off that, really. But they're spending their time accusing us of moaning just because we're worried about the safety of we're supporters and obviously their loved ones and friends and everything else at the ground. So let's just turn it in, Sheffield Wednesday. Turn it in, everybody. Just make sure you got better safety measures. When you're going to open up your ground to massive away support like Newcastle United. But that's just pretty much wrapped up for another Morning Magpie. I hope you've enjoyed it. If this is the kind of thing that you guys like, then please remember to click that subscribe button. I'd love you to come and join us. We're on something like 2,350 something subscribers, 54 maybe. I always try and get that number right. I always think I have got it wrong, but I normally get it right. So we've got quite a few subscribers. So loads more room for you guys. All free content here, 2 live shows Mondays and Wednesdays, and the pop-up shows just like the Morning Magpie you've watched. Come and join us. And most importantly, if you can click that like button, it really helps get this around YouTube and helps brighten up everybody's morning. So wherever you are, have a great morning, Magpies, and we'll see you later.